Interestingly, so when you say that there's a lot of influence of digital when you look at the buying behavior of consumers, how much importance do influencers have in marketing a brand, especially in an industry like yours?
So, of course, a lot, right? If you look at all kind of pharma products, right, some of them have OTC variants of it, right, which are milder in nature. Let's say, for example, like a cough syrup, right? You have like a cough syrup which is possibly, a mild dosage and hence could be directly given to a consumer. And then there are cough syrups which are a lot more heavier, where you require a doctor prescription to say that, hey, whether you really need it or not. So the OTC brethren basically were anyways preaching to the consumer, okay, saying that this is the right way to do it. Though the doctor, of course, plays a large role. Today, there are enough people within your social feed who kind of add value to you to make a decision. Now, it depends on the category of decision making, which I mean, it varies. Even finance, for that matter, right? Like you have so many advisors today, whereby there are people who tell you how to invest or what to invest in, where should your portfolio be. These are some things possibly which was never ever discussed in such an open manner. There was always like a, either if you were so worried about your portfolio, you would need to take an appointment with your financial advisor and you kind of got some advice. The influencer today, within a finance space or a health space. Now, again, within the health space, the kind of influencers that we deal with are very, very different. Of course, there are doctors who within the clinics are influencers, but even let's say like nutraceuticals as a segment, there is a nutritionist who's probably telling you like, hey, the nutrition that you're getting from your food is not enough and hence you need to kind of supplement it with other nutraceuticals. It's almost like I want to be careful about the intake of my nutrition levels, and I definitely want to be adequate, if not more. So I definitely think that these influencers are playing a big role. Doctors are acting as influencers, both offline and online. There are a whole lot of influencers, like as I said, right, whether it is the segment or the category that you're talking about. Skincare, for example, huge penetration of influencers. An average product which is bought on Amazon has changed. The ASP of a product from 100 rupees has moved up to a 200 and something odd rupees, 220 or something, only because of the fact that there's a surge of influencers saying that, don't use the products which are harmful for you, or don't use duplicate products. It's going to spoil your skin for life. You should, it's okay if you spend that 100 rupees more, but buy the better product, right? So skincare is like a huge space where I have seen the role of influencers can really change the trajectory of a brand. In fact, more than branded content, I would think that influencer based content is changing decision making processes. I was thinking, like, when we speak about Infidigit, the first thing, of course, comes to mind is SEO. And I was thinking that, how does influencers really like add value there, right? Any point that I self initiate my discovery process, right? Like, and then there is an influencer which is playing a role because the fact that it is credibility or discredit that the influencer is adding. Let's say there is a brand of shoes that I want to buy. If I, search for the item and also look at reviews parallelly, an influencer has a capability to discredit the brand as much as possibly, promote the brand. I mean, we recently saw some episodes for, some of the noodle companies who kind of went down the route because influencers discredited them, mothers discredit them, mother influencers. So, I mean, there is enough power now that influencers have.
It's becoming more and more democratic in a way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just thinking of adding. Today, I met somebody incidentally from the influencer, marketing setup. He told me there are 8.5 million influencers in India. So the definition of an influencer itself is like now changing for me. Because if anybody who's got a follower set of more than 10,000 starts calling themselves an influencer, then the definition of influencer itself is like really changing. Uh, what is an influencer? Is it just the number of followers, or is it the number of impact of delivery that the person is going to have. That's something I think now a new SEO metric will come in terms of how good that influencer is or not.